Hey there, my fellow lunatics, and welcome to Dakon's Madhouse. Hey there, everybody. Today I've got a brand new build video for you. This is another endgame build. We're going to go a little bit more on the defensive side. This is kind of like a dodge meets armor and max hit points kind of build. It's a little crazy. It's a little bit of a mix, but I rather like it. It's a very good defensive build. Let's take a closer look. Alright, now everything in this build is maxed out at level 19, and the first thing we've got here is the Snowman hat. And this is found as part of the winter presents from the winter holiday event. And this gives us a boost to our health and to our armor. Next, we have got the Paladin harness, which can be found in the Desert of Beginnings off of various mobs, chests, that sort of thing. This is where it starts to give us our dodge chance. It also has a pretty good armor boost as well. The Paladin pants also have that good armor and that good dodge chance. They're found the same way that you found the Paladin chest. Then we have got the Lantern, and this one gives us a boost to our hit points. This item is found in the Clay Caverns in various destructible items. For the necklace, we have got the Polished Scarlet Chunk necklace. You can craft this once you have your crafting skill high enough, and you've got the Jewelry Crafter skill. This will allow you to make the polished jewelry. So craft this for an armor boost as well as a dodge boost. For our backpack, we've got the Scarlet Shell backpack, which I'm using because of its health and its armor boost. Yeah, you are sacrificing 5 slots currently, but you know, that's just kind of the way it is at the moment. It's worth it though for the armor and the health boost. You can craft this at the Scarlet Workbench. Next, we have got the Ring of Rock. This provides us with an additional 31 points of armor. You'll find this by just breaking various walls and objects throughout the dirt biome, and really most of the early game biomes. You should have one of these at least. Next, we've got the White Glass Ring, which gives us a boost to our health as well as a really good boost to our dodge chance. You will find the White Glass Ring in various destructibles and chests inside the Sunken Sea metropolises. For our offhand, we are using the Trinity Heart. This gives us a really good boost to our health, a boost to our armor, we get a heal over time, and if we happen to get low on our health, we get an even better boost to our armor. So this is a really strong item. This drops off of the core commander. And for my weapon, I am using the Rune Song, and this gives us a plus 17 life on melee hit and a chance on melee hit to increase our attack speed, which is really useful. Now, you don't have to use this build with melee. It works pretty well with ranged as well. I used the Galaxite Chakram, and I've also used the Throwing Daggers, and I've used the Phantom Spark Bow. All have worked well with this, although my personal preference for this build is on the melee side. I did also try using this build with magic and with summoning, and it was a lot weaker. I couldn't get, obviously, the summons I needed to make it effective. And with the magic, it kept running into problems where I just kept running out of mana. That was my biggest issue, was I just kept running out of mana. So this build works best for ranged or melee. I'm going to do melee for this video. If you enjoyed these videos, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to stay on top of the latest from my channel. Additionally, if you want to go that extra mile and join as a channel member, you will earn my undying love. I do this channel in my free time, and your support goes a long way to help me someday turn this into a full-time gig. Thank you for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. So let's go ahead and take a look at the skills that'll be really useful for this build. Here in the mining tree, we've got Miner Strength, which improves our mining damage, adding that to our melee damage. In the running tree, there are several things. We've got Balanced Stance that improves our dodge chance if we stand still for a short amount of time. And because of the defensive capabilities of this build, you can actually just stand there and tank a lot of these hits. But on top of that, we're also going with Gotta Go Fast, which gives you a movement speed boost after you move around. Because when you're moving, and there will be times where you will have to move depending on the boss fight, you're going to want to be able to move quickly, and this helps you do just that. Keeping tempo gives you a damage boost as well. So if you're struggling with damage and you just want to get the fight over a little bit quicker, move around a bit, increase your damage, and use keeping tempo. On the melee side, pretty much everything that you see here is effective, useful, and works well for this build. Being that it's melee specific, this is all extremely, extremely helpful stuff. On the vitality tree, we have a little bit of versatility. I kind of like this path that I have carved out already that takes you down to Protection of the Ancients. But when it comes to those last 5 points that you spend on either the extra damage at low health or the heal over time at low health, both are effective for completely different reasons. So I say go with what you prefer. It really does not matter. On the crafting tree, I have taken high quality equipment as well as the right tools in the right hands to decrease the kind of durability damage that my gear is going to take overall, just saving me a little bit on the way of resources. But then I also have Unbreakable to give me an armor boost when I'm at low health, just in case I need it. Since this build does work well with ranged, this is the setup that I prefer on the ranged tree. The improvement to my critical hit damage works for melee too, which is useful, but everything else here just really helps boost that overall range damage and attack speed. In the gardening tree, taking thorny weapons will help get some little bit of extra critical hit damage, as well as potent poison. You can do extra damage against poison targets. If you keep some poison ground slime with you and place that down before you summon a boss, or right before you actually fight a boss, if it's your first time fighting it, just drop it down and then get things going with that boss. You can poison that boss, and then you'll be doing that extra 25% damage. Just keep periodically moving them over that spot if you need to keep that damage up. In the fishing tree, we've got Studied Patterns, which gives us a 10% dodge chance. And on top of that, I went with Power of Omega 3 for an additional 15% damage against bosses after eating food cooked with fish. Now, this does stack on top of the Pafungi's damage against bosses, so these are separate buffs, and when you have this skill active, you will actually notice it on your buff food down at the bottom. In the cooking tree, there are several useful skills here. First, we have got the Smell of Food to give us an extra 20% damage. And then we've also got long-lasting foods so that all of our food buffs are lasting us 30% longer. This is really, really helpful. And then Sharing is Caring gives us a heal over time. That's going to get compounded even higher with some of the other defensive capabilities of this armor set, as well as some of these food buffs we're going to be eating. Now, there's really not much in the magic tree other than True Sight for that extra critical hit chance that really matters for this build. This is just how I have it set up, but really you could also add Magic Barrier Regeneration Delay if you want to use that skill instead and eat some Magic Barrier food, which I'm not planning to do as part of this. And then finally, the Summoning Tree. There's really nothing in the Summoning Tree that matters for this build, so set it up however you like. This is how I have it set up for this. When it comes to pets, there are a variety of pets that are going to be useful for this build. My personal favorite is the Pharamoth because it has a 5% dodge chance as well as a 20% just straight damage buff. I really like this, and even though it does also have a physical range damage, and my build I'm kind of using it more melee, if you're using it ranged, then that just it works even better. Now, if you're using it with melee, you're kind of wasting the ranged aspect of it. But if you prefer, you could use the Owl Lux instead. That also works just as well. When it comes to the skills for your pets, I personally like the Triple Trouble for the extra chance to do triple damage, but you can't go wrong with Spirit of the Hawk for additional critical hit chance as well, or really anything that you manage to get your hands on with your pet. All of the skills are useful. When it comes to food, I have basically gone with a bunch of food that I got from my most recent food video, but you can check out either of the two Endgame food videos that I have published. There's images up on the screen, and You can find links for those in the description as well, assuming I remember. And you can watch those videos to get all of the details of how to make this buff food, what order to eat it in, and all those other little details specific for your class that you're playing as. Now, when we're just fighting general creatures in the environment, you can see that for the majority of the time, I can dodge most hits, as my dodge chance is currently sitting at 85% while I'm unbuffed. So I'm not really too worried about getting hit most of the time, and when I do get hit, I don't take a lot of damage. And when I do take damage, it's really not enough to kill me. This is hard mode, by the way. So these bomb scarabs are hitting me with their bomb attack full on. I just dodged that. $563 points of damage, and I just absorbed it without any real problems. And I'm already healing right back up. You can see I've got 1,500 hit points, so I can take a lot of punishment. Okay, I have eaten all like 16 of the insane crazy buff foods. As you can see, I'm doing decent amount of damage, but I don't have to fear anything. Go ahead, let that hit me. I don't care. Attack me. I really don't care. Let's see if we can get this guy to hit me with those triangles that everyone's afraid of. So I do decent damage with this build too. Look at that. Those are 40k crits there when I'm tripling. There we go. Let's let those triangles just hit me. My hand's not even on the keyboard. Now, mind you, you do want to be a little careful. These triangle things can kill you. But for the most part, look at that. I dodged every single one of their attacks. Yawn. Every single one of my hits heals me for 27 points of damage, so even if I do take some damage, I really don't need to worry about having healing or healing potions, because I'm healing a lot on my own as it is. Now, I will say that the damage that you take from this energy field is a bit much, and it is hard to compensate for it. So you don't want to stand in that energy field when you're fighting the core commander, but you can walk through it with little to no fear, because it's not going to be enough to kill you if you just pass right through it. I can just stand in these. All right, now you can also see that with bosses like the Hydra here, even though it's wrecking my base right now, I can basically just stand in these triple beams and not be worried about it. Yeah, but you'll notice I don't have to worry about it. Ooh, I don't even have to dodge this. I'm gonna stand in the middle of it. And boom, hit me. I'll take it. No problem. And there you have it, folks. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button to help give the video a little bit of a boost. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell notification so you don't miss any of my regularly released content. But we have more. If you want to support the channel a little extra, you can become a channel member to get exclusive membership benefits like early access to my videos, exclusive members only content, a members only Discord community, and more. So thank you all to my current and future supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you all for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay crazy, my friends.